What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sanchez405 coming at you. It is on the Warpath, and before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications whenever there's new content on the channel. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and share this video out if you can. We greatly appreciate it. And today is part 4 of the Who Is series, and we take a dive into the special forces, special teams. We'll call it special teams. But one of the holdovers from 2019, Nate Kaczor, the special teams coach for the or coordinator. I'll say coordinator because coordinator sounds a little bit more official. You tell me what you think, but I will say the special teams coordinator. A graduate of Utah State, was a captain as a center, and he was an All-American as well. He got his first coaching gig. So 17 years in the college ranks. He got his first coaching gig with the Aggies as an offensive assistant. Played under 4 different head coaches. Chuck Shelton, Charlie Weatherby, John L. Smith, and Dave Arcelanian. Check me on that one. But make sure you fold up Charlie Weatherby because we will come back to him. But with the Aggies, they won 3 Big West championships. They won the 93 Las Vegas Bowl. And then they had a mixed success that I think the mid-90s, I think that was when John L. Smith was there. They had a majority of the success there. They were kind of like in a rebuild, and then they had a little bit of success. They made 2 bowl games, won that Las Vegas Bowl. But then he had an opportunity to be an offense coordinator, quarterbacks coach in the Division II ranks from 2000 to 2003, where he went to Nebraska Kearney, the Lopers. And I'm telling y'all, it's hard finding stuff on Division II schools. Coming from a guy that works at a Division II school, trust me, it can be hard to find. That's old data. It can be very hard to find. But we found it. So Daryl Morris called him the head coach, the longtime head coach of the Lopers. And they averaged 7 wins per season during Kaczor's tenure as offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Posting their best season was 9-2, 7-1 in the conference. In 2002, they won their conference, the RMAC, and they also made the playoffs because they do that playoff system in Division II sports. The offense averaged 35 points per game during that 4-year span. 26 times they scored 30 or more points, and I don't think they had a losing season at all. So he got a call back to return to Division I football. And Nick Holt, the newly hired head coach at Idaho in 2004, called him and was like, hey, you want to come up here, be a co-offensive coordinator and tight ends coach? Let's just get it straight. The Vandals were straight trash. They won the Trey Quinn Award, pretty much, for being garbage. And no offense to you Trey Quinn fans. But they only won 5 games in 2 years. And Holt bolted for the NFL, wound up at USC. It was a weird situation there. And then Charlie Weatherby, remember, I told you to fold that name up, called him in 2006 to come to Louisiana Monroe, and he was a tight ends coach in 2006. In 2007, he was a co-offensive coordinator, and the interesting thing about this Warhawk squad was they are the last team that is a non-conference opponent for Alabama to win in Tuscaloosa. They were the last team to beat Alabama, non-conference team to beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That was Nick Saban's first year back in 2007. What were you doing in 2007? I think I may have been like a junior in high school. Junior? Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so, wow. It just shows you the greatness of Alabama and their squad. But the Warhawks won 10 games in 2 seasons though, and then after that he jumped to the NFL. He made his first leap to the National Football League. And here's your first Redskins connection of the day. Get connected for free when Jack Del Rio came a call and hired him as a special teams assistant under two-time Super Bowl champion Russ Parnell, who was the special teams coordinator at the time. Like I said, we call them coordinators, not coaches. And he was also in Carolina. Parnell was from 15 to 16 as Ron Rivera's special teams coach. There's two connections right there for free, y'all. Two of them. But anyway, during that time, they had a Pro Bowler as a special teams Pro Bowler, Montel Owens. They also had a very successful kicker in Josh Scobie. Steve Weatherford, who was a longtime punter of the Giants, was on the Jacksonville squad too during that tenure of Nate Kaczor as an assistant special teams coach. During his time there in Jacksonville, they had the lowest punt return average for an opponent. So 6.5 there, so 6.5 yards per punt return. And then they had the lowest kickoff return for an opponent as well too, 21.8. So they were good at getting down the field and stopping their opponents with their starting field position there. So in 2000, after the slate was wiped clean in Jacksonville because Jack Del Rio was fired midway towards the end of that season, and the staff was let go at the end of the season as well. Mike Munchak, Hall of Fame lineman and head coach of the Tennessee Titans, called and made Kaczor an offensive line coach and assistant offensive line coach under Hall of Famer Bruce Matthews. So you got to learn how to be a offensive line coach under two Pro Football Hall of Famers in Bruce Matthews and Mike Munchak. That must have been something to behold there. So in 2013, he was moved over to the special teams coordinator spot. He did work with Ken Wisenhunt as his head coach as well too. But Rob Baronis, the late Rob Baronis, who was a good kicker for many years. Brett Kern, who was had the third most punts inside the 20 with 94 during that stretch of Kaczor being there. And in 15, he even had 88 punts and only one touchback. So he's good at working with those punters. Brett Kern, and then Ryan Suckup, who's also was a good kicker as well too. In 2016, Dirk Cutter, who took over for Lovie Smith, called him to Tampa Bay to become the special teams coach. And we know Tampa Bay also, their kicker should win the Trey Quinn Award for being straight up garbage. They had Roberto Aguayo, Nick Folk, Patrick Murray like Murray's Meats, and then Cairo Santos probably was one of the better kickers during that stretch. And Brett Anger was the punter. He actually did garner special teams player of the week in week 14 of the 2016 season. And after that squad was fired to make way for Bruce Arians guys, Jay Gruden called Nate Kaczor and was like, hey, I just lost Ben Kadwika. Can you come up here, help me? I don't know how long I got my job, but we'll give you a job up here for a year. So he took a 1-year risk flyer, and the special teams honestly wasn't that bad, folks. They were ranked third or fourth by one of these sports networks, and also Tress Way made his first Pro Bowl, as we say. A lot of us say. Our buddy Juan Gotti says Tress Way should have been the MVP of the Redskins because he was the lone Pro Bowler. Steve Sims had a kickoff return, and I mean the special teams was halfway decent this year. I don't think we gave up too many big plays. So Nate Kaczor probably got some raving reviews from Jack Del Rio and Russ Parnell, who knows Ron Rivera. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do and what he can put together in the 2020 season. So, it's all about making field goals, pinning your opponents, and, make sure they have the worst possible starting field position. So I look forward to seeing what Kaczor can do with this squad. His players seem to love him. Tress Way and Nick Sundberg seem to love him. Listen to him on the Redskins Talk podcast with JP Finley and the boys, and they had some rave reviews about him. I think there was one story where Tress Way said Kaczor, they were playing a running game on Kaczor because of the Tiger King thing. And Tress said where he's from Oklahoma and Joe Exotic's from Oklahoma, and was saying that I interned there, so that was a running gag, and Kaczor actually believed it. So he seems like he's a funny guy, but he seems like he's no nonsense as well. But y'all tell me what you think about Nate Kaczor. And I'm going to start doing the position coaches here pretty soon. May do some of them bunched together. Not sure yet, but the position coaches are coming up next. Like I said, I'm going through the whole coaching staff here. But again, make sure you comment, and don't forget, we'll be giving away that jersey once we hit 1,000, y'all. And as always, what we say here, we love you guys. I appreciate it. And how do we wrap it up? Love, peace, and hell. And I'll be talking to y'all real soon. St. Charles 405, I'm out.